Yes, and we got very lucky this time because
I was a little scared.
We almost had to share a bed, which this time we got our own bed, which is nice.
I was like, call and check again. Make sure somebody else doesn't need a double. We could use that double.
Yeah, so we did. Right. And it's always, Julie teases me all the time because when you're roommates on these trips, you have to deal with the little idiosyncrasies of the other people.
Right.
And one of mine is that before I go to bed and I kind of then pass out and fall asleep, is I always listen to Seinfeld.
So true.
And you're going to be really excited. I'm excited because the person who's on today was on an episode of Seinfeld. So
that's right.
You probably got to listen to one of those while I was. And then she'd always, one time she tried to turn it off. And I nearly slapped her.
Yeah, she grabbed my hand and I was like, she has her eyes closed, but she's meditating to falling asleep to Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld, but it's not like the new calm that we use to fall asleep to. So
I will say,
it's your routine.
New calm has proven to be better. No disrespect to Seinfeld because it's still amazing. Amazing, as we say here on the Moms Club. But yes, New Calm, which is spelled Nucalm, is an app that can help you sleep better, focus better. You get more energy
from it.
And what's really great for the moms in the Moms Club is if you put Moms Club in the code at checkout, you're going to get 15% off every month of your subscription.
Listen, I'm all about positive mental health with a discount.
It's great. I mean, I can't say enough nice things about it, but I also can't say enough nice things about going to sleep listening to Seinfeld. That's also a good option too.
Well, I like to watch The Golden Bachelor to fall asleep to.
You do. So Julie is hooked
on The Golden Bachelorette.
The Golden Bachelorette. She was hooked on The Golden Bachelor until that didn't turn out so well. And then she got really infuriated, if you really want to know the truth. I mean, I've never seen anybody get so upset about
Let me explain why it made me mad, because I'm definitely...
They never got married.
I'm not a hater of new relationships, but you want hope that after a certain age that you kind of got things figured out. And I was just kind of like 90 days and then... So I was just like, I don't know. It was just kind of a letdown.
Well, how are you feeling about The Golden Bachelor right now?
I'm really liking it.
I will tell you, I've only watched...
Yeah, the new one. Yeah.
I've only watched one episode of it, and because for me personally, I was watching these people and I felt like she shared how horrible it was losing her husband, which I'm sure it was, and how wonderful he was. And then they all shared how I only saw the ones that were widowers, and they were all sad about their wives. I'm like, this is kind of sad. I mean...
Yeah, but they're being real, and it's a real thing. Yeah. And so, listen, this also, I don't care. It's actually one of the #1 shows on television right now, because a lot of people are either choosing not to be married anymore, and also that you want hope. You want hope. If you want to find someone, this gives you hope, and it's fun. You want to have fun and you have choices. This is the beauty of it. Mm-hmm. This is what I like about it.
Well, I'm for it. I think that's great. And you know what else I'm finding from my nieces who are in their late 20s and early 30s. And I have 2 sons who, by the way, are both taken at the moment, but in the event that doesn't work out, they are very good looking and well educated. So just
you're going to love that. I feel like this is, a popular topic, whether you're in your 20s or your 50s. Well,
what I was going to say is
60s,
some relationships,
70s?
People are not having relationships. Like women are finding it hard to find good guys to date. And they're telling me that the guys are all playing video games and hanging out with each other, and they're just not into relationships, and it's really hard. And
the girls are hanging out with each other, and they're going to like homecoming in large groups. I just did this weekend, and not a lot of people are getting dates or flowers or anything. So listen, you're having to adjust, and you kind of want to understand why.
It's a big adjustment, and obviously for the future of the human race to continue, we need some good relationships in there.
And some good relationships.
Which is why I am so excited today to introduce our guest, who is a multi-award-winning LA theater director. And she most recently won Broadway World's Los Angeles Best Director Award. She directed a season of HBO Cinemax's The Zane's Chronicles and Amazon's Smothered. She has extensive TV credits, including Seinfeld, which tonight I will play you that episode so you can see which one that is. But the reason we're here talking to her today is friends are always asking for her relationship advice. And so she wrote a book called The Party, How to Have Fun While Finding True Love. Please welcome Terri Hanuaer.
I'm all ears. I'm all ears.
Yeah. Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Hi, Terri.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, so tell us, how does a director in your professional career, how do you come to being an expert on relationships? Like, what led you to write this book? It's one thing to say, to have your friends say, you're really good at fixing people up, or you have great advice, but to actually sit and write a book about it and give advice, where did that turn happen?
Yeah, absolutely. First, I want to say how happy I am to be here. It's just, and your conversation and who you are. I've listened to several of your podcasts, as I was saying earlier to Julie, so enlightening, and you guys are great together.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And engaged and engaging, and that's beautiful.
Thank you.
So thank you. Okay, so I was at a party in Venice, California.
Yeah.
And I was divorced from my first husband. And I was out with some girlfriends and just getting over the experience of being so sad and in shock, right, from being divorced. And I was at this party, and I remember it really, really well because I was sitting on this beige leather sofa, and I was just watching the people, and there were people coming in together, staying together, like little pods of people everywhere. People weren't connecting at all, right? And I had a white wine spritzer, and I took a sip and put it on the coffee table. And I had like this moment, this thought, this vision. And I thought, what if someone like Oprah or Dr. Ruth would like magically appear at this party and say something like, all right, everybody, we know why you're here. You want to find love, right?
That's so good.
And I imagined everybody at the party responding, right. Because that's actually what everybody wants, right? I mean, everybody wants love.
Yeah, you don't want to miss out on
connected. No, you don't want to miss out. You want a true companion.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to create a singles party where that's really going to be the main thing. It's going to be an intentional singles party where we're going to have fun.
Okay.
As fun as you were saying earlier, Julie, while you were watching that show, is that fun. Fun is so important. So, and when you're having fun, you're like yourself.
Yes.
I was watching a kid yesterday. We're taking a walk. A little boy was playing, and he was so engaged in what he was doing. He was so happy. And when we have fun, we're ourselves. We're glowing. We're the blood is like flowing, right? Our heart's beating. Yeah. We're smiling. We're laughing. We're incredibly attractive when we're having fun. So I thought, if I throw a singles party where the premise is everybody's having fun, and I would set that up, then people would meet people.
So you're saying the pressure is lifted.
Pressure is lifted, and also you're there. You're all open-hearted. You're there because you want to be there. Like you believe in love. It takes courage to have hope, right? Yes. And so you were saying earlier, the hope that you're going to meet someone, I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So I threw several of these parties with some girlfriends, and we had boyfriends, and some people got married, and it was great. And then I got married, and then no more parties, right? So about 2 years ago at a birthday party during the pandemic, a woman and I were talking. Her name is Francine, and she was saying, I cannot meet a guy. I can't meet a guy. I'm in LA. It's terrible. I'm depressed. And I said, why don't you throw a singles party? Oh. And she said, I couldn't do that. And I told her about the ones I threw. And she said, well, Terri, can you throw me one? And I said, no, I'm not going to throw you one, but I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a guidebook on how to throw a singles party. And that's how I wrote the book.
That's
the
incredible.
Party, How to Have Fun While Finding True Love.
Can you give us the top two in there, what you do at this party?
Yeah, give us an idea what the party looks like.
Give us something.
Well, here's the cover.
Book. Yeah. Show it up there. There you go. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. And it's actually, I've got to say, in all modesty, I reread it yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's a hopeful and helpful kind of book. It's easy to read. It's funny.
Oh, good.
Okay, couple things. One of the main things is, as I said earlier, you need to be open-hearted. So when you're throwing this party, you want to be open-hearted, and you want to maybe get one or two of your girlfriends to throw the party with you. Makes it easier.
Okay.
That they're open-hearted as well. Okay. The next thing that's really important, and I call it the link effect. It's really easy to throw these parties because all I have to do. Okay, so let's say it's me. I'm throwing the party. I'm single, open-hearted. I am going to invite a male friend, platonic, single, also open-hearted. Done. He gets to come to the party if he invites a female single friend, platonic, open-hearted. She can come to the party, but she has to invite a male friend, platonic, open-hearted.
Oh, I see how this
that's
works.
Really smart.
Right.
So everybody has to have mentally stable friends, is what you're saying.
At least one of the opposite sex, right? If you guys are straight, you want that. So what happens? Let's say you have three people throwing the party, three hosts, right? So each one, invites one or two. That's all. That's all you have to do. One or two. And then they invite, and it's exponential, right?
Oh, I like this. Because you don't know who's coming. You don't know who's coming.
Exactly. You don't know who's coming, and in all probability, you'll never know who's coming because it takes you outside of your world, right?
Right.
So let's say I invite Bob. Bob invites Mary, who is his trainer. Mary invites, Joseph, who's her dentist.
Oh, I like this.
And that keeps on going. So you're meeting all these single people that are hopefully open-hearted that you would never in a million years meet.
Well, listen, I like this much better than Monica calling me and being like, hey, we're having dinner with a friend and we're down the street and he's single.
Yeah, we had one. My husband and I had a friend who was a widower. His wife had passed away the year before, and we happened to be down the street from Julie's house. And I said,
intimidating.
Hey, I have a single friend up the hill. But that didn't work out.
No, because I was a flat no. But I like your idea better.
I do like your idea because you get to meet new people. But I like the platonic thing. So it's not like someone you secretly have a thing for that you invite to this party. You have to make sure it's somebody that you're not interested in, but someone else might be. That's a great idea.
Exactly. And the other, to answer your question, Julie, a couple of things about the party is because so that everybody comes, right? Yeah. So you come and maybe one person. That's it.
Okay.
And because one person, everybody's in the same boat. So everybody jumps into the water, which is warm and fun and, appealing at the same time. And then the other thing about the party is that you create games. And in the book, I have the games and the welcome game kind of so that everybody is welcomed in the same way. I have different corners set up. I call them affinity corners. So what do you like to do, Julie? What's one of your favorite things that you like to do?
Oh my gosh, I like to play tennis. Is that what you mean?
At a party?
So then you can have
yeah.
So this is your party, and then you have a corner where it's kind of like you can even put a little banner, sports corner.
Yeah,
and you have and so people will gravitate to that corner who like sports.
Oh, I like tennis. I like that you don't have to talk about your job. The kids, they're driving you nuts, all the drama. So, a guidance is helpful.
This sounds like a fun party. Can you be married and come? No. Oh, I guess that's not a good idea. Never mind.
I didn't hear you. Can you what?
I said, could you be married and go? It sounds like a fun party to me. I would enjoy.
Okay, so, you could. A married friend actually read the book and said, I'm married, happily married. But what was great about the book is that there's so many things about it that encourage you to have fun in your life.
Oh,
to enjoy your life, because that's one of the reasons we're here, I think, is to truly live who you're meant to be and enjoy yourself and do all the things that you want to do and hopefully find people. And if you don't find, a mate, you might find two or three friends that will become your good friends. So that's
That's a bonus. I can tell you that I had to laugh because I was like, I love this idea so much better because I saw a show recently where they were talking about dating apps and how god awful it is, and that they might as well just call these apps What's Left. Because, like, I mean, it's just absolutely, so thank you for writing the book. Thanks for being like an awesome friend because, all your friends, I don't know what it is about you, but clearly everybody's asking your advice on, all of these topics.
I think that's great. I love it. I'm going to read that book. I think that's amazing, as we say here on the show. And I'll say this is with the success of her book.
Yes.
You probably get to go to a lot of weddings. And you're probably going to need a wedding planner. And we have one here today.
We do.
Lindsay Buwalda. Welcome to the Moms Club. Welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So now, when we've been to these parties and we finally met our true love, which Julie, I bet she's married by next year. So she's going to need to know about. When would she need your services versus she could just throw her own wedding? Like what makes that decision?
What makes the decision of hiring a wedding planner?
Yeah, whether you should have a wedding planner or you just do your own wedding.
Well, I think it's better not to wing it, right? So that's why you would hire a wedding planner. I've had Bliss Productions for 15 years, so we're definitely well versed in the area of wedding planning and event design. But I think it's so fun to be able to collaborate with somebody that's in the industry, that knows all about it, what vendors to go to get some help with designing your wedding, keep you on budget, and make sure that it all goes well so that you can just have fun.
Yeah, then you don't have to think
She's actually making fun of me, Lindsay, because I'm terrible at paperwork. So this would be an absolute must for me.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Julie, if it makes you feel any better, I'm single too. So
well,
those apps are no fun. I was cracking up in the background, and Terry, that is such a good idea.
Yeah,
I love this idea. It's fabulous.
So thank you two could throw a party.
Yes, we could.
We should do a party.
Before and after. Before is the party, then after is the wedding.
Absolutely.
And then when one or both of you end up getting married, you can have to say this wedding is thank courtesy of this book with a QR code where they can buy it, so everybody else can know how they can.
But Lindsay, I need to hear where are you located, website, all
tell
of that.
Us about how if someone needs a wedding planner.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm located in Orange County, California, but we do weddings all over. We just recently did one in Aspen and Cabo and Hawaii. So we're also destination wedding planners.
Nice.
Let's see. I have a degree in interior design. So we really specialize in designing more high-end events and not just weddings, events, so corporate, nonprofit, etc.
Yeah.
I've had Bliss Productions for 15 years, and my dad was a custom home builder in Laguna Beach for 35 years, so I worked for him for quite some time, as well as Ford and First American.
Yeah. And you know where all the hot spots are, the houses that you could have a wedding at, or
Ooh, I know, it's so fun. It's so fun. Lots of great venues, that's for sure.
So that you get to do some of the high-end, really fun weddings. Like I went to a wedding where the girl married a professional golfer, and it was during the winter, and so there were ice sculptures everywhere. And one of them was you took a colored golf ball and you hit the golf ball, and it went through the ice sculpture, and it landed and it hit a pin, and then you got a shot of tequila.
Oh my
so
God.
Fun.
I like
it was fancy. Okay. You can really,
That's true. I know, and it's becoming that way more and more. I mean, it's a lot of times it's becoming a lot less traditional, and especially with second marriages, Julie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've been married before, but I have. So if I do this another time, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes. I'm not sure I'm willing to do that again, but
you will.
I'm just saying, but Terry's book could be for anybody, right, Terri?
Oh, absolutely. So, it's for,
But I would like to know, are you doing a lot of marriages that are, in your 50s, 60s, 70s?
A lot of weddings. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, weddings.
I've done a lot. In fact, I just did a wedding 2 days ago on Saturday at Montage, and this was both of their second weddings, and such a sweet couple, and they both have kids. So absolutely.
All right. I hear you.
So tell us real quick, where do people find you to plan this wedding?
Sure. My company's name is Bliss Productions, and my Instagram is also Bliss Productions. So that's where you would find me.
Okay,
Beautiful.
terrific. Well, Julie, I really feel like this is probably one of the most important shows we've ever done.
Listen, we're not planning my wedding.
And
that's
this is what we call
today.
It's soup to nuts. We're going like meet the guy, marry the guy.
There you go.
Think that is the best kind of show. So we have today with us some women that want to know more. There are Zoomer moms. So welcome, Zoomer moms. Welcome to the Moms Club.
All right. Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Welcome, moms. Welcome. So I'm going to introduce each one of you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and ask either of these lovely ladies a question. We'll start with Liz. Welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and do you have a question for our guests?
Yes. I am from Dallas. I'm a mother of one. I'm a single mom. I work, obviously, on the road. And so I have a question for the lady, Lindsay, who always has these great weddings that they see. Is there something that you see in terms of the people that are getting married with the families that shows, from what you've seen based off your clients, what would be a long-term happy marriage based off the parents of the families that are getting married?
Gosh, based upon the families, well-grounded families, right? Good morals. I think a family that it's always nice if you can stay together. That's always a good, thing to do. But if it's not healthy, I think it's sometimes better to not. But I mean, that's kind of, it can be loaded, but I think just a solid foundation for the children to learn how to grow up and see a really good relationship, right? Nice. To hopefully make good choices later on in life.
Well, that's a very good question. That actually leads me to, so Terri, have you ever had one of these parties where you're like, oh, hold on, wait a minute. Maybe that's not going to be such a great thing. Like, do people ever kind of steer people away in these parties? Like, I don't know that one's...
That's interesting. In terms of the parties, hopefully you're bringing somebody who you actually like, your platonic friend. But there's one particular party, and actually it turned out that I ended up dating this guy who, he was a friend of a friend, right? And he was like, he had 3 wives at the point that I met him. And he had a tremendous amount of baggage, and I'm not talking Louis Vuitton kind of baggage, because that would have been okay, but like the kind of baggage that he was just really willing to put on my shoulders. And I kind of had an inkling that was the case from the friend of the friend, a little bit of stuff, but sometimes you just got to go through it in order to get through it, to get to the other side. You learn so much, and you learn they'll never do that again, and sometimes you have to do that. So. But I think the question is an interesting question, because if you're looking at the family or the parents of who you're going to marry, they can tell you a lot. You just have to kind of have your eyes open and be willing to look.
That is true. I've always heard you should always look at, well, first of all, you're marrying the family, not just the person. Even if they say they don't speak to their family anymore, that's a whole other issue.
I clearly did not get the memo on that the first time around.
So... Yeah.
Anyway.
And then I guess supposedly, you will be like your mother if the woman and the guy's going to end up being like his father. Supposedly.
Supposedly.
That's just
I don't
what
know.
they say.
Yeah.
Nancy, welcome to the Moms Club. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and do you have a question for our guests?
Thank you so much. This has been really interesting. I am living on the island of Maui in Hawaii, and I'm especially interested because I'm a wedding officiant and an author of nonfiction books.
Wow.
And just to share, I'm super excited with my newest book is a historical memoir of my father's escape, which was a miracle from World War II, Lithuania. And it's about resilience and a hunt for truth because 17 family members were murdered by the Nazis. It's called 50 Cents for a Life, a true story of surviving by synchronicity, because the miracles in life present you pathways that you didn't even know exist. And I'm just thrilled with the response and where it's going.
That's great.
So I have lots of questions for both of you, but I'll start with Lindsay. I am in a destination wedding location. 90%, 95% are from other places. And what are the trends for destination weddings? A lot of mine are just the couples or very small groups. But what's going on with the trend? Do they want to stay home near family, or do they want to travel?
Right. Oh, such a good question. Honestly, it depends on the individual. Oftentimes we get couples that don't have a venue, which is so fun, because then the sky's the limit sometimes if they're open to it. I think I just mentioned that we just did one in Hawaii, actually on the island of Kona. But the trends in terms of design are really monochromatic now. There's a lot of white on ivory, on beige. So they want to stay very neutral, which is fun, but sometimes it does make it hard to do something. There's not much pop involved in there.
Yeah.
So that's a current trend.
Thank you.
I will say too, as a guest of the destination weddings, just a little caveat about that. We were invited to 2 where we rented a VRBO, and the weddings didn't happen, and we lost our money.
Vacation.
So,
Happened to me too, actually.
Yes,
as a guest,
I think it's important just to be aware of that when you're planning one of those. You know, you're going to lose any friends if you end up not getting married.
Terri, have you been to any of these weddings of people that you've introduced? I mean, has that?
Oh, yeah, that you've introduced.
Yes, absolutely. Joan and Howard. Joan actually helped me with the first party, and then somebody at the first party wanted her to help her at a second party. Joan went and created the second party, and Howard showed up. And they've been together. They have 3 kids. I mean, it's, as the other guest, the mom was just saying, the synchronicity. You just, it's always around you. You just never know it unless you're looking for it.
Yeah, keep your eyes open.
You know, we all get where we get because of a million things, right?
Sure.
Different people, this one thing happened that made you do this, all that. So it's special. And if you could be there at the beginning of something, and if you say you saw the 2 people, or you saw one and then they connected to somebody else, like you feel you birthed something beautiful, which is, you know, talking about mothers, like we're always birthing things, if it's friendships or ideas or books, or we're always kind of giving creation.
I think you just found the title to your next book, maybe birthing. So
I'm inspired. Actually, I hope I can find you your true love, and then you can look back and say, Monica.
Goodness. Yeah.
Thanks to Monica.
Good luck.
If not for you, then maybe Lindsay. I can help you. I just I feel like I'll be the Yenta of I'm inspired.
Listen, I'm really taking one for the team today. Maybe Emily has a question. Yeah.
Oh yes. Sorry. Well, we not only have Zoomer moms, we also have Zoomer daughters occasionally, and in this case, a Zoomer niece, because we want to hear from some of the younger women who also might be inspired by the party and certainly by weddings. And so I want to welcome my niece, Emily. Welcome to the Moms Club. Do you have a question?
Hello. Yes, I do. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the process of writing your book and what that was like.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good question. There's a writing teacher that I love. He works on Zoom, so you can be anywhere in the world and you can Zoom with him. His name is Jack Grapes, and you can look him up, jackgrapes.com. And he teaches like the writing method, similar to acting method. So you don't have to be an actor to go to his classes, but I connected to him, and to it. And I think a teacher is great, a mentor is great, because they help you open up yourself, open up the doors. And I'm the kind of person that if I say I'm going to do something, I really try to actually do it and complete on it. So I just started with, well, how did I come up with this idea, which is what I talked about earlier, the party in Venice. So I just started.
Yeah.
And you sit for 2 hours a day, if you can do that, or 1 hour a day, you commit. And the other thing is that the muse needs to know where to find you. You know, I've heard that. Mm-hmm. So you can be wandering around and you can get an idea, but that doesn't mean that an idea is going to be enough. It's never enough, an idea. You need to sit in front of your computer and you need to commit to yourself, basically. And you also need to say to yourself, I have great ideas. I'm worth it.
Yeah.
I'm worthwhile. Something I'm going to say is going to be meaningful to somebody else. And that kind of helps me and helps, I think, somebody sit down and write something. I wish you luck. What are you trying to write?
I don't know. I've always thought about writing a book someday.
It would be about yourself.
Piece.
Yeah, you kind of went in and out there. Yeah. Just my suggestion and my advice is to just sit down and write.
We might have lost Emily, but I can tell you that I read a little bit about, Terri, about how you started. And that's what I really liked about it, because I, too, have thought about, you know, some of the things I think about and writing down. But you really only did it a few minutes a day in the beginning, my understanding. And then it developed into something, you know, that came about. And I think that lightens the pressure of, I have to know the beginning, the end, a certain timeline, all of that. So I love that. And I think that was with your book, Lightness of Rain. Is that right? And you didn't really know that you loved, you know, writing or poetry, or, you know what I mean? Is that true?
Absolutely true. Like, the thing about writing for me, and I think it's true for any of the arts, at least the ones that I've been involved in, is that you get to discover as you go along. You know, there are some people that map out everything and that do an outline, which is great that they can do that. I don't do that because there are so many ideas and thoughts that I don't know at the beginning that I'm going to have. And I don't necessarily know where the character is going to go. And I want to find out with them. Yeah. So for me, it's a discovery, and it's a great art form for that purpose.
Yeah. I mean, does that go along with directing too? Like when you're in it and you may not even have an outline, you may take a different direction. I mean, a lot of people aren't super familiar with directing, but you've done so much of it. Can you speak to a little bit about that? I mean,
I would love to. Being an actor first, it's like my mother tongue is acting. So when I'm working with actors, I know what it is that they need and the subtext and the intention and all that stuff. So I can communicate really easily with them. In terms of the overall, if it's a play, I need to kind of have a metaphor for the play. So, for example, I did a play called La Ronde de Lunch, which is a very funny play, and it was like a circular kind of play. Like character A and character B were in the first scene, the second scene character B, character C, and then character C, character D, and all the way back to character A. And to me, the metaphor was, it's like a merry-go-round. Everybody's coming on and getting off, and so that helped me with the pacing and the vitality of the piece. Yeah. So you have you don't know what's going to happen until you're actually working with those exact actors with those lines exactly in the moment. So it's always kind of thrilling.
That's what's so great about doing anything that's just creative. Like I wrote a book, and just listening to you talk about writing a book, it's like later on when I was reading, I thought, after you write the line, you're like, that was really good. I mean, I feel good about that. Well, Liz, I'm looking at you there, and I feel like you have one more question. No?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, Liz was actually a guest on one of our other shows, and it was a great show, I have to say. And she came to our event in Dallas, which was a lot of fun. So it's good to see some Zoomer moms, repeated Zoomer moms and guests, and so
I know for sure.
Well, yeah, that was really amazing. A lot of moms came out there.
They did. Wasn't that a great event? Let me just share that really quick
as well. Everybody was very cool.
Well, speaking of the party, now maybe we can So Terri, maybe we can start a new book too about this. This is how to get moms like connecting, which is really important. That's what our show is all about. Yeah. And so we have events that are live events. We did one in Dallas. That's the one Liz is referring to. And it was at the Beeman Hotel in Dallas. And once a month, we invite moms to come out, bring their friends, get together, and just
the room was electric. I mean, the women talking to women, we were networking, we were telling our story. Everyone has a story, and what's so interesting is that, I think everybody there, Liz can probably speak to this, was having a really good time. And it was, lighthearted and fun and, a break from the mundane of,
And you make new friends, and it didn't hurt that we gave away some prizes.
Some really nice things, yes.
Yeah, that helped too. So,
Count me in if you do one. Again, in LA and stuff, count me in.
I will. Okay, that'd be great. No, we would love that, because that's what we envision. So what we envision here with the Moms Club is not just, our podcast or whatever else we might have happening here, which could be happening here soon, but just a network of women who can connect and be friends with each other and, meet new friends, have a support group, because that's what it's all about. This show is really about moms' friendships.
Yeah, totally.
Because we became friends through our kids as moms, but, you can be dog mom.
I mean, I would be completely lost without my friends. And
she really would be if you really know her very well.
But I mean, that's true, especially the past 4 or 5 years. But I would love to know, Terri, what pulls all your friends to you to, be able to give this advice in life. And, I'm just curious, tell me about a little bit about your group of friends that, they keep asking, and that, you were able to create a book out of it.
Absolutely. As we were speaking earlier about mothers, right? And that I felt so connected with my mother and still do every day. I think because she was so great, she loved me so unconditionally, that I have a similar feeling to women and to my friends. And so I love my female friends, and they love me.
Yeah.
And they're in circles. It's like there's the ring that's the close ring, right? And then the second ring, and then the third ring.
Branches out.
Yeah. I trust them. They're funny. They're creative. They're courageous. They're doing things, and they're moms. And not all of my closest friends are moms.
Of course.
But most of them actually are moms. And a lot of them are in the industry, writers or actors, photographers. My first husband is a photographer. My current husband is a writer. My friends are in that world. What draws me to them? I think that they're kind and that they're funny.
Yeah. Loving.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about.
I feel that way about you, Monica.
And me too.
It's okay. You don't have to say it.
No, I love you too, Julie. Not enough to have to share a bed at the hotel, but I do love you. I'm so glad.
Do you like to snuggle?
And hopefully, I don't know if Liz made any friends there at that party, but did you meet one new person? Anybody?
Yeah, I met Tiffany Moon. I've run into her before, but I had more conversations with her, and she's an anesthesiologist, doctor, wine producer.
What is she not? That's the thing.
She is great. Yeah.
All over the place. Yeah, she's doing great.
She is really great, and she is so entertaining. Woman. I was like, if I had known an anesthesiologist could be this entertaining, I would never go to sleep. I would try to stay awake. She's really great. She really is.
She has incredible stories.
Well, this has been a really fun show, ladies. I don't know. It's just been terrific. And where can we get the book, The Party, so we can get this party started?
Here it is again. You can get it on Amazon.
Oh, great.
Party.
Okay.
How to have fun while finding true love. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this morning.
Thank you. Well, thank you, ladies, for being on. Thank you, Lindsay, for sharing your wedding information. And
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Yes, I will share that with my son's girlfriends. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I know.
Whatever happens. You know, I can't be influencing this. Yes, no pressure,
but
people.
We're taking your name and number.
Yes, they may not be speaking, and none of them may speak to me after this. But, anyway, well, you can find us on social media at Inside the Moms Club on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. We are everywhere, and we have a website. We're on all the platforms.
Yeah,
good for you.
This one went by super fast. I'm so inspired to have a.
I know. I'm so joyful. I'm
so inspired to go to your wedding and to have another event in Dallas and to go shopping with Liz because she looks like so much fun. And I love to shop, so I will definitely be back there.
Yeah, and we're going to have, maybe we should think about an event in LA so we can have Terri come.
No, LA is fun. We definitely
and Lindsay, she's Orange County. So
well, moms, I can't believe the time has come to a close, but we'll be back next time with celebrities and extraordinary moms just like you. Thank you so much for spending your precious me time with us. Remember the Moms Club motto: if you don't laugh sometimes, ladies, you are going to cry. Do not cry. Laugh. Keep it light. And we'll see you next time inside the Moms Club.